Good afternoon. I request every participants to come and occupy front row seats.
Let us make this hackathon.
These type of problem statements for last 4 months. So yeah. जनगण 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 मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा
Please, I request every participants to come and occupy front row seats. Why you are sitting at back? Cyber Shield Hackathon 2026. So before we begin today's proceedings, let us brief look back at the wonderful moments from day one on this event. The first day was marked by inspiring interactions, insightful discussions, and the gracious presence of our esteemed dignitaries and participants. The session provided a valuable platform for learning, knowledge sharing, and meaningful engagement. So we are delighted to have with us distinguished industry experts who will be sharing their valuable perspectives on two of the most important and rapidly evolving areas of technologies today: cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. These sessions will provide our participants with an opportunity to understand the engaging technology, landscape, emerging opportunities, and the skills required to succeed in their future. I hope everyone are excited for today's event. So without further delay, let us begin our session. First session is presented by EY. It is my pleasure to welcome Sri Shivaswarupa Garu, EY partner, who will be sharing his insights on cybersecurity, industry and careers, evaluation and relevance. In today's increasingly digital world, cybersecurity has become most important than ever. Today's session will provide valuable insights in the evaluation of the cybersecurity industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Sri Shivaswarupa Garu, partner of EY, with a huge round of applause. May I request Sri Ashutosh Mishra Garu, General Manager and Chief Technology Officer, to kindly welcome Sri Shivaswarupa Garu.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Shivaswarupa Garu, the stage is yours now.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. I would like to first of all take this opportunity to thank BOI for giving us an opportunity to be part of this fabulous event. And I think we spent the last five and a half hours in hearing the great work most of you have put together, and it was truly inspiring to see the quality of work, the quality of the products that have come out of this engagement. So it was truly inspiring. Having said that, this was just the beginning. I think the first step in productionalizing the winning product or the winning entry, and then implementing it across the bank, which is a different ball game in itself. Because when we speak of that, we are now talking of crores of end users. I think I was part of the problem statement one, in which many of you presented the ability to upload the APK using WhatsApp or on a portal and all that. And most of you all also said that the entire product can run on a laptop. But now when we talk of putting it in the bank, crores of people will upload an APK. Let's assume, when there is a pandemic of virus attack or a malware attack, a lot of people will upload. Now, how do we scale this across the bank, right? When we think of those scenarios, that is when the complexity of cybersecurity becomes a big issue. So in the next 5-10 minutes, I will try to touch upon some of the things that we in the industry see. I will also talk about some of the challenges that we face from a skills perspective. The reason why that is important is, I assume that most of you are just about completing college or getting into the work stream, and you need to know what kind of demand exists in the industry so that you can make a decision on making your career in cybersecurity. If somebody like me has been working for the last 30 plus years in cybersecurity, that shows the kind of promise the domain brings to the table. And the exciting part of the game has just about started with so much of AI, etc., coming into the picture. So this is the agenda. I will skip this slide. So this, so to introduce myself, my name is Shiva Swarup. I come from Ernst & Young, or EY in short. I'm a partner in EY. I live in Bangalore and travel across the country, meeting customers like BOI day in and day out. And it has been my privilege to collaborate with with BOI in my current job and also in my previous job where I was part of IBM. So most of the consulting companies, produce what is called as the trends, or the a visibility into what is going to come next, right? So this is one such report, which is called the EY Megatrends report. Now, I'm sure all of you are familiar with Instagram. Most of you use Instagram or LinkedIn and all of that, right? 2 days ago, I do not know how many of you saw, for a juice shop inauguration in Ujjain, right? They had bought a 12 lakh robo to do the inauguration, and it was given that respect of shawl and all that, and people were dancing with the robo. Okay. Now, that is a very simple, relatable example that I can cite as to what is coming in the future. Now, why I cite that example is, if you see here, the second item in the red box is human-machine hybrid. All of you presented about LLM, all of you presented about agents and all of that, right? In the very near future, in the next 1 year or so, I'm sure all of us in the industry and in the bank, we will have a mix of team members who are human beings and a lot of team members who are agents, right? How do you manage that hybrid? How do you secure that hybrid workforce is the biggest challenge that's going to be. Again, I am not sure how many of you noticed, 2 days ago, there was a document by Bill Gates, where somebody like Bill Gates is worried as to what AI will do to the industry, okay? And very revolutionary thing he had proposed, that going forward, the government should also charge income tax on the number of agents that are deployed in an enterprise, right? Because everyone is looking at newer ways of controlling and managing AI. So I'm sure many of you would also be concerned what kind of jobs you will get into, or whether you will get into any jobs or not. The reason I am saying that is I have 2 daughters. My younger daughter is just out of college, right? And what to do, where to go, what skills to build, whether to study next, right, is a question that most of you would have in your mind, right? Now, if you see this slide, it very clearly says that the rate of change is going to be very high. That is what we mean by super fluid enterprise, where the ability to adapt, whether it is a bank, whether it is a service provider, everybody has to adapt quickly. And to adapt quickly, you need skilled workforce. So that is the, talent rewritten, right? That is the other point. How quickly can we learn? And lastly, or the most important thing that I'm going to focus on is the currency of trust. Now, trust is 2 things, right? When we speak of, all of us use apps. Now, some time ago, there was an uproar in the country that Swiggy or Zomato, one of them charged some service charge, right? Which was not aware, people were not aware. And that became a big issue. Once you lose a trust in app, you will not use that app again. So that is where RBI is also now dark pattern apps, right? That is what they find, and they disabled, I think, about 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, right? So that is one kind of trust that we talk of. The other kind of trust we talk of is related to cybersecurity. How secure is my data with this app, or how secure is my details that I'm giving to the application, right? So that is the other element of trust that comes in. And because of that element of trust, somebody like me has a job. Somebody, many of you like who are here will also have a job, because cybersecurity is always a catch-up game. Hackers are always ahead of us, right? So when we talk of trust, couple of other data points that I want to talk to you about is, in the trends report, we saw how things are evolving. In this, So this is a, this, I don't know how many of you follow, this is a World Economic Forum website. So if you follow the reports that they publish, if you see here, right, they are saying that cybersecurity skills shortage is a big issue. About 45% of the respondents said that, skill shortage is a major challenge to ensuring cybersecurity posture. While evolving threats, evolving landscape, emerging technologies, right? Uh, when we were in the jury, we didn't ask that question because I know most of you are still in college or coming out of college, right? How do you ensure your agent doesn't get hacked into? How do you ensure the application that you built is not compromised, right? That is a very important question. Um, we didn't go there because we understand that, right? So ensuring anything and everything that is getting adopted is also secure as we move forward is a very big challenge as far as enterprises are concerned. Now, having said that, what happens if anything is compromised? That is what I will get into in my next slide. So this is a very popular report that gets published by IBM. It is called as cost of a data breach report. I don't know, it is very slow. So the first slide actually talks about the cost of a data breach. Okay, if you see here, every data breach incident costs about $5 million to an enterprise. To recover from the breach, to restore functionality after the breach, and to deal with all the repercussions when it comes to reputation, brand damage, regulatory consequences, etc. Right? And if you see on the right hand side, what is the kind of data that gets stolen? And in the presentations that you guys did, it is all related to an end user data, end user bank account details, username, right? PII data, all of that is there. So if you really see, customer data is the biggest target, which hackers want to steal. Employee data, then anonymized data, then obviously intellectual property. Like if you built an app, let's say the winner who's built the app today, if that gets stolen, then we know what is the consequence, right? So these are some elements of the consequences of what happens when a data breach happens. So we saw the big trends that are affecting the industry. We just got a glimpse into the challenge that the cybersecurity industry is facing from a skills point of view. However, the data breaches are not slowing down. They're only accelerating. The impact is also increasing. Now, if you see this slide, it says hackers are stealing data from everywhere, whether it is on-prem, whether it is private cloud, whether it is public cloud, it doesn't matter. Wherever you store data, they'll come after it and they're able to take it out, right? So, which is a very important aspect. And then I said we did not delve into the security aspects of the AI model agents that you build. But if you see on the left-hand side, the kind of attacks that are happening on the AI side itself is increasing every day, right? And if again, I'm saying, if you guys read the limitation of an AI model, the Hugging Face incident, it went and attacked another model. There was a recent incident in Melbourne where somebody asked his agent to go and book a slot in a gym. That agent went, it found out that there is no slot available, but in the process, it also found out there is a vulnerability in that API. It cancelled somebody's booking and made a booking for this gentleman. Okay, that is the challenge of a non-deterministic LLM or an AI trying to do a deterministic job, right? So these are now imagine using some of this in the bank and you're dealing with money, right? So that is the security challenge when it comes to leveraging AI in serious apps. Okay. So all this again was just to give you a context in terms of what we see in the industry happening. So these are some of the key trends that we see from a cybersecurity perspective in 2026. Okay. Again, I'm not going to explain each of these, but very important thing. Again, I'll relate back to the apps that you guys have built. The first item, which is resilience over prevention. Now, you guys built the, let's say the bank deployed it, right? What if your agent stops working? Now, since you all have built an, leveraged an LLM, built an agent, there is something known as a kill switch phrase that all of us use very loosely in the AI world. So your agent is misbehaving, I use the kill switch and stop it. Then what happens? Crores of people are still, let's say, uploading the APK. How do I deal with it, right? So that is where resilience comes in. How do I keep the business running in spite of something going wrong? Okay. So that is now taking a lot of, I would say, importance today because some time ago, the most important principle in cybersecurity was to assume breach. So you build your systems assuming a breach will happen. That is why we do what is called as tabletop exercise, wargaming, all of that we do because we assume a breach will happen. But today that has changed with AI, which is now, we are now adopting a phrase called design for a breach. If this thing gets breached, how will we run? So that is where during the design phase itself, you factor all the breach scenarios and design accordingly, right? So that is the important aspect that I wanted to talk about. AI guardrails is how do you secure the entire AI ecosystem is the other aspect. And then for those of you who are excited about quantum and all of that, that is a big growing area, where there are a lot of skills required for doing all the transformation that is required from an encryption point of view. Okay, so these are the 5 or 6 areas that that we are seeing a lot of demand for in the industry. Now, from a skills point of view, right? I have documented a couple of slides where, for those of you who are interested, right? So these are some of the areas where there is a lot of skill demand in the cybersecurity industry, right? So we spoke of mega trends, we spoke of skill shortage, we spoke of consequences of breach, what an enterprise like BOI goes through to deal with it. Then we spoke about what's coming in the cybersecurity industry, whether it is resilience, securing AI, securing agentic identity, and so forth. Now, translating that into what kind of skills we need, this is what it is. Now, how many of you know how a DNS works? Yeah. See, this is the real problem in the industry. Sorry to say, but I am taking this opportunity to tell you guys, right, that if you don't know how a DNS works, right, it's very difficult to troubleshoot anything or do a forensics of anything. Similarly, how many of you know how a ping command works? See, only 2 or 3 of you know. Yeah, just 2 or 3. I'm assuming 100 of you are here. Only 2 or 3 of you know how a DNS works, how a ping works, right? So that is why many of the places I have put fundamentals, whether it is networking fundamentals, network security fundamentals, LLM fundamentals. How many of you know what is a cloud, how cloud works and all that? Same thing, right? Now, let's say if I ask one of you to take the app you have built in the morning, which you presented, and deploy it in the cloud, how will you do if you don't even know what a cloud is, right? So cloud fundamentals, cloud architecture, those are very key things because more and more adoption of cloud is happening, right? Then if you truly want to specialize, you should then learn how a banking industry works, right? How different functions of a bank works, right? What are those applications, how the business works. When you marry the domain knowledge with the technology knowledge, then you will become a true cybersecurity professional when it comes to securing anything or troubleshooting anything. Or otherwise, even if there is a breach, going and investigating the same becomes a nightmare for you guys, right? So my simple message is focus on the fundamentals, understand some of these basic concepts of how things work. When you type www.microsoft.com, how many of you can explain how it works, or how did the page come, right? So these are some of the things that I would encourage each one of you to spend some time and build those skills. Now, all of you built the code, right, which you presented. Have you built the code in a secure manner? That is what secure SDLC is all about, right? Without going to a lot of detail and confuse the hell out of you guys, I do not want to do that. But these are some of the areas, like, on quantum, I have written basic familiarity with quantum. What is quantum computing? What is quantum encryption? These are the things that you should know if you want to make a career in quantum, right? So Then I think many of you also presented RBI C-site report and all of that, right? That is all about governance, right? So that is another horizontal in the cybersecurity industry, which also you should spend time and build some skills on. And lastly, but most important is automation. How do you automate most of the activities that gets done in an enterprise, whether it is detecting threats, whether it is remediating threats, whether it is incident response or whatever, okay? So in summary, this is what I wanted to share with you without going into any of the technicalities or technical details. If any of you have any questions, I'm more than happy to discuss it offline or whenever, right? I'm here for the next 2-3 hours. More than happy to discuss. Thank you.
Sir, we truly appreciate your time and thank you for your valuable insights on cybersecurity industry. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move forward into the world of cybersecurity to another transformative force that is reshaping our future across the global, artificial intelligence. Now the session is by McKinsey. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next distinguished speaker, Sri Chandrasekhar Panda, partner of McKinsey. The topic is on frontier AI, impact and opportunities in technology ecosystem. Artificial intelligence is transforming the way organizations operate, innovate, and solve complex challenges. We are delighted to have Sri Chandrasekhar Panda sir with us. May I request Sri Gauri Shankar Rao sir, General Manager and Chief FinTech Officer to welcome EY McKinsey partner.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, Gauriji is outside. So. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chandra. I'm a partner from McKinsey. I lead McKinsey's digital tech across Eastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa, all based out of Riyadh, but I also do significant work in the context of India. I think as my colleague from UI, he was alluding that how the entire cybersecurity landscape is changing and how the job opportunity and other things are emerging. But we thought this session is going to helpful how the new frontier AI is essentially emerging and not to create panic, rather how it can be a career path and also the opportunity. So, and when we say frontier AI, all the new model, what we use, for example, Anthropic, Claude, etc., in that context are essentially being classified as frontier AI. Hence, we'll give a bit of summary. I'll spend 10 minutes. I'll make it more interactive. So please feel free to ask any question, although the number of slides are more, but we'll make it more interactive. I think what we are clearly seeing as a path breaking across the entire ecosystem is, I think today when we saw some of the session, I think these are, people may say, okay, these are the Claude generated code, etc. But that also has an impulse that some of this Claude generated ecosystem are also going to be induced with cybersecurity risk. And in the past, when the ethical model of cyber used to appear, it takes a lot of time to get into or cyber intrusion, etc. But now it's much more easier because some of the things can be fully automated. So if you think from the bad actor standpoint, in that context, what we clearly see, there are 2-3 critical message for us, right? One, from a career path, there is one element where the execution is going to be much faster because of the, I think some of you might have already heard Mythos. Although in India, a lot of institution had not got the early access. I got the early access for one of the other institution. And it helps to know how critical those mythos model are becoming. And in the past, it used to take, for example, if I have to do a firewall testing or any sort of that, it used to take, let's assume, 3 to 4 days. Now I could run a simulation in 3 to 5 minutes. We could actually identify what is the challenge. The implication of that from a advantage standpoint, because I started my career way back with Microsoft, etc. In those days, for us to fix a patch, we used to get a 0 day duration of around 6 to 7 days. Now the 0 day is actually not 0 day anymore. It has to start beforehand. Hence, some of you, whenever are joining product organization or system integrator or starting of your own, the scale of acceleration is going to be one critical index. I think that's message number one. The second key learning, what we clearly see, because I'm also extended family member of Bank of India and other institution, we also see as a financial institution, the faster to act in those situations is also the second element. I think hence the talent pool also required to be addressing those kind of challenges across the entire ecosystem. In that spirit, when we look across the entire banking technology landscape, and as a part of whether we look across Indian banking ecosystem or outside, and when I say banking, not just bank, it also include insurance, fintech, etc. There are two message broadly we clearly see the pain point, right? One is all the API technology, database, and the legacy stack required to be modernized. In the past, it used to take more time. With the acceleration, like I used to serve a Australian bank way back in 2021, when we are serving them to change the mainframe code to Java code, it was a roadmap of almost 4 years. But with the new AI model, the same thing could be done in a matter of 6 to 9 months because the code modernization is happening more instantly. But that also creates a challenge that how you protect the cybersecurity risk and the related party arrangement as well. I think that's one. Second, when we innovate some of the product, and because some of you will be also inner in this room, when you, and I think we asked you today as well, that how your product is going to be cyber safe in its own merit. So hence leveraging the frontier AI or using the right analytical model and the prompt, I think is the go to acceleration, and learning that is going to be the cascading impact towards this. In that context, I think some of you mentioned that FIU model will leverage the financial intelligence unit, etc., the data set. How to self-learn, and I think some of the question we also probe today, self-learning, creating the knowledge base, core capability is also the other element that we should think from a frontier AI adoption standpoint. And this is one of the critical slide. I thought that as a team, we should also reflect back. I think there are 6 building blocks that we should look across. One, from the risks pattern that we see from a developer to tester or from a future product manager. I think that's one element. Second element that we clearly see from a statical behavior to the adaptive behavior, because the customer perception and the change of that, I think that, and when I say customer, does not mean only the individual customer who is using a mobile banking app. It could be someone who is also using an intranet portal in the bank, or it could be a regulator as well, because each of the user segments have their own appetite. And in addition to that, we also see the fraud and the bad actor ecosystem around that. So all these allude to how the entire ecosystem is changing, and it is essentially creating a mass market offering for all of us to build the core capability, what is going to be rational, and the corresponding ecosystem around that. I think that's how we clearly look across. In that context, I think the critical element that we collectively need to look across is how to automation is going to play a bigger element. And automation, like when we are back in 2007, 2008, automation testing used to be a very buzzword. I think now automation risk management, how to automate some of the cross-cutting things are essentially coming back and driving the overall induced ecosystem. And that leads to where the critical opportunity is going to be. Right? In that spirit, we also see there are structural shift which are expected to happen across the capability that is going to be required. And as a team member or colleagues for the future job market, I think that is going to be the consideration. As my colleague was also showing the World Economic Forum report, how the future of job is going to look like. I think that's the other element that we should also cross leverage as a party and leverage the benefit around that. In addition to that, to look across how the current control framework, future forward-looking framework is going to address in its own induced way, and we get the full benefit out of that. I think that's in a summary. I have more slides, but I will take it more interactive and happy to get any questions as much as we could cover in this session. Any question? Please ask us anything. Yeah. No question? Post lunch break? Okay, I have one friend. Very good. Sorry, I'll request my colleague.
So, what was the form about? Your friend predicted what will happen in the market, and especially in cybersecurity field. What will be the job opportunities or the development? What will the future hold?
I'll put this in two dimension. I think if I take two profession, just to make it very simple, I think the future of a developer is going to be much more automated. I think the organization that I serve both in India and outside, like last 2 weeks back, I saw one of the large institutions in Middle East. The CIO, the head of the IT, mentioned 90% of the code that they are currently writing is actually on by leveraging Claude. So, and it's a they used to, and the advantage that they are taking is not to fire, lack of better word, the developer community, rather how to accelerate the full potential of the developer community. I think that's one element that we are cross leveraging. Hence, as a developer, how you adopt the automation and the cross leveraging, that is going to be the first area, because the faster you take leverage this, so hence not to deprive of that. I think that's number one. The second, the developer community is now becoming full blown professional. Earlier we used to call full stack engineer. Now the same engineer is also able to do the testing and the cross co-leverage. Hence the role of a developer is actually becoming much more better as compared to the previous, that okay, I will only do the development, I will not do testing. Even there are certain organizations, they are also becoming a product owner who is also writing the code. Hence the profession is shifting towards a 360-degree coverage, as opposed to maybe I was doing a 90-degree or 180-degree coverage in the past. I think that's one element. Coming back to cybersecurity, in the past profession, what used to happen on cybersecurity is we used to be start as a ethical hacker or essentially professional who do the audit, cybersecurity forensic, etc. Now that is also changing. The cybersecurity role is also going to prevent those things. You also expected to write certain plugin codes, etc. So hence because the code writing and cross leveraging that is no longer a challenge. I think that profession is also shifting towards how to think of the right prompt, how to ensure the 0-day issues are being addressed proactively. That profession, or when I was doing a 20% of the job at the past, that is shifting how I could take to 80%, and eventually maybe it will be 100% because of the things that is coming across. The only risk barrier in that, the industry may not require so many developers, so many cybersecurity professionals. Hence, we need to learn what are the delta that we have to accelerate. So hence, the first bucket, if you imagine in your mind, is a 360-degree of the developer community. On the right-hand side, maybe a 270-degree of cybersecurity professional, because there are certain role or conflict of interest role in cybersecurity, for example, audit, etc. Hence, you may not be a 360-degree professional, but that is where I see the profession is changing and what some of the peers are also adopting. I hope I answered your point.
Hi, this is Venkat. I sat nearby you in the jury. So I have two questions.
Yes.
So very nice talk, first of all. So one thing is in this Independence Day speech, our Prime Minister said that in the near future we want one of our banks from the India to be in the top 5 in the world. And my question to you is, what should be the roadmap for Bank of India or any bank out there? That's my to achieve or to go towards that. That's one.
Yeah.
Number two is, so I'm asking this question as an IIT professor here. So what should we do to complement banks in achieving that role?
Very good. Maybe I should not discuss something confidential, but when Prime Minister, I serve METI and the other ministry as well. This discussion is actually happening for last 18 months. So whenever it was not a speech, actually, honestly, And in that context, the largest bank of the country, fortunately, I also serve them, is already started their journey. And the objective is this, like we recently started, and I'll come to the Bank of India side, but as a broad market, we are some of the national critical infrastructure for the banking industry. Bank of India, State Bank of India, etc. We are the national critical infrastructure. We are not just the institution who just do the banking. In that context, the mandate is that this institution should actually be the top quartile in the context of technology. Currently, it is already in public domain. For example, in SBI wants to be 2x by 2030. As a part of the last Bhopal summit in 2025, that was agreed. And what has been pulled out that the technology investment, because currently State Bank of India spends around 7,000 crore annually on the technology front. Just for a comparison, Bank of India spends close to 1,700 crore. So from that scale, if you have to compare, both the organization are pushing, because both are family for me, are pushing to increase their budget on technology to almost 2x at a bare minimum. What does that mean? Increasing the budget does not mean you get the full benefit. But there are, and some of the BOI colleagues are also here, we as an institution are also pushing where the AI and the automation is going to be driving this. Some of the, like I see NP sir as well, he's also driving some of the agentic and the cross leveraging those capability as well, and analytical model. Now coming back to the second part, how educational ecosystem could also contribute to this. We see this, and I'm bringing three parts to this. One from a practitioner standpoint, second as a bank, and third what the ministry or the honorable prime minister is thinking. I think because research institution are still evolving, we are not yet on the MIT or the Stanford part of the cross collaboration. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's the truth. Hence, how to build the product for the community. Can IIT Hyderabad build the next gen core banking system for India? I think we should think from that as a, or maybe can we create something of the operating system for the country, because a lot of institutions are still using. And third, which is another challenge, we don't have India's database technology. We don't have this at this point of time. We rely on third party. And due to all the geopolitical situation, there may be a situation which EU has already started. They don't want to use third party database, including Oracle as well. Can such thing could come from the university and the entire ecosystem, that we start creating our own database, own operating system, so that that could be used in the entire ecosystem? Because unfortunately, banks or the other institution may not have the capacity to do this. Research institution have more capacity to think, deliver the impact. I think that's the one dimension to look across. Second, our GDP percentage of research versus if we compare some of the other countries, much lower. We are actually 131 on the research contribution to the GDP. I think that's the other element which also required to be elevated, and that's the other, we spend I think 0.2% of our GDP on research, whereas some of our near group peers are actually somewhere around 4.8% or in the context of 5.3%. So I think the GDP contribution to the research, and maybe I'm more referring on the technological research, has to increase. And the research does not mean get the fund just to research, it also to productize and deliver the impact. I think that's how, sorry for the longer answer, but that's where the clear horizon view look like. Yes. We'll make it interactive, guys. Yeah? So thank you for asking.
Good evening, sir. Yeah. So my question is,
and colleagues from BOI also, NP sir, in case you also want to answer, please feel free to answer as well.
good morning, good evening, sir.
Good
So
evening, sir.
my question is, so as you said, like the enterprises have the adoption rate of cloud around 90%. So which results in dependence on the closed source model, which is mostly Opus 4.6, Fable, ChatGPT 5.6, and others, which are mostly owned by US outside India. So my question is, we have the open source ecosystem for the LLMs, which is growing very rapidly. And on the other hand, we have the closed source ecosystem. And the challenge arises when it comes to the enterprises, because the enterprises have a problem that they cannot send their data to the outside uh,
country or maybe outside and third parties. So they may be relying on the open source models for some of their use cases, specifically banking industry, insurtech, and other medical industries as well. So what is the gap between the quality of the open source LLMs and the closed source LLMs, which are the most popular in use today? So yeah, this is my question. Thank you.
Glad you asked this. I think the I will not paint the challenge of open source, rather how to elevate, and maybe let me outline what is happening behind the scene. I think, and what is happening, I don't want to name the institution in the country, but easy to guess. They are currently considering how to cross leverage or get the maximum benefit from open source stack as opposed to some of the commercial product. Because with the commercial product, I can give you, I'm not naming the organization. They say that you leverage my model, and in India there is a large user base. All the data goes to a foreign country, and in return of that, there is no model that exists to only share the encrypted information. So hence, one of the top 5 bank and one of the top 5 industry in the country, they decided that why I should share my customer data to them, because eventually I'm in a blackmailing situation. Hence, in parallel, the effort has been how to try to adopt the open source stack. And it is not just India. All the neighboring nations are also doing that because of the challenges they foresee due to all the geopolitical situation. Now, how to address this as a part of the process is there are 2-3 action point. Because in the open source, you will find there are 2 variety of open source. One, which are low token consumed open source in its own shape, but they are from some of our all the neighbor country, but we don't have a good bilateral with them. So even if we want to use them, but there is a penalty around that. Second option is that these are actual open source, but the community is actually not that big, because open source can grow when the community is can grow across. Hence, as I think we know Sarvam and other peers what they are doing, but Sarvam is almost 1-2 year behind what are some of the greater model are there. Hence, in parallel, I think as Professor was alluding to, there is a government commitment towards this, that how to create our own open source and the corresponding LLM. And I think this is not just from a government. Some of the banks, some of the other entities have also started building that capability as well. So in the future, maybe all the OpenAI, Mythos, or the GPT of the world are not going to be fully eluded, or even Gemini Enterprise as well, are not going to be fully taken care by the enterprise, because a lot of the data managing there, and also India is also in the verge of getting into DPDP. I think that will put more restriction, but also a opportunity that how we could create our own open stack LLM and the corresponding capability. Hence, it's also another opportunity, the way that I was mentioning the database technology and other. I think this is also an opportunity in this space, that the faster we build this, the better it will be, and it will be much more capable across. And it's a clear opportunity as well. I hope I answered your point. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We truly appreciate your time. This was such an engaging session. Thank you for your valuable insights, sir. I hope these 2 sessions will help our participants who are sitting here, as they are going to continue their journey in innovation and problem solving. And I want to truly appreciate every participant sitting here for showing this much excitement to our session. And I hope so you will carry the same excitement throughout the event. And without any further delay, I want to forward this continuation to respected Usha ma'am.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our MD and CEO, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak sir, has already arrived at the venue, and he'll be joining us here any moment. And there's a brief interlude, so we'll start the function as soon as he comes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. MD and CEO Shri Rajneesh Karnatak sir has already arrived. Could you please stand up and welcome him with a standing ovation? Welcome, sir. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you all. Good evening once again to all. A hearty welcome to all the distinguished guests, participants who have joined us from the length and breadth of India, students and seniors and fellow colleagues. As we wrap up an incredible journey of innovation, creativity, and collaboration, the grand finale of CyberShield Hackathon 2026, organized by the Department of Financial Services, Indian Bank Association, and Bank of India in collaboration with IIT Hyderabad. Myself, Usha S. Kumar from Bank of India, your host for the day. Let me have the privilege of welcoming our eminent dignitaries onto the stage. May I call upon Shri Gauri Shankar Rao, General Manager and Chief FinTech Officer, Bank of India, to kindly escort the Registrar of IIT Hyderabad, Shri V. Venkata Rao Garu. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Rao sir. We welcome you, sir, in your own campus. It's my honor and privilege to welcome our very own Managing Director and CEO, sir, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak ji. Can I call upon Shri Ashutosh Mishra ji, General Manager and Chief Technology Officer, to please escort our MD, sir, MD of Bank of India, to the stage, please. Now I call upon Shri Rajiv Sinha ji, Deputy General Manager, to please come forward and usher Dr. Deepak Kumar sir of IDRBT Director. I'm told that Dr. Deepak sir is on the way, so you have to wait. You have to wait. I call upon Shri Shashikant Sadavartiya ji, Deputy General Manager, to escort our Chief General Manager and CRO, Shri P. Harikishan sir. Welcome, sir. Request Shri Kuldeep Pal sir, DGM and CISO of Bank of India, to escort Shri Satyendra Singh, CGM and CIO sir. Both of you are welcome. Both of them are welcoming each other. It's my privilege to invite on stage Professor IIT Hyderabad, Shri Soban Babu, who has been the architect of this entire hackathon, both last year as well as this year. I call Nipendra Singh sir. Sir, you have to wait. There's somebody to escort you, please. Let us have the privilege of doing that. Please. Nipendra Singh sir, he's our DGM. Kindly come on to the stage. Thank you very much. In our culture, we have with us Dr. Deepak Kumar, Director, IDRBT. Rajiv Sinha sir, it's your turn to please usher him onto the stage. So you are to come up, please. Kindly come up, sir. Dr. Deepak Kumar. Director, IDRDT. Thank you, sir. In our culture, welcoming a guest is a celebration of respect and gratitude. And keeping up with the tradition, may I now request our MD and CEO, Sir, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak ji, to please welcome the Registrar of IIT Hyderabad, V. Venkat Rao. May I request the ladies here to please bring the sapling. So, in keeping with the spirit of sustainability and growth, we have chosen a living symbol of our welcome, a plant. Thank you very much, sir. May I now request Shri P. Harikrishnan, Chief General Manager and CRO, to please come forward and welcome our MD and CEO, sir, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak ji. We welcome you with... You see, all young people are sitting here, but the taaliyon ki gargarahat bahut dheemi hai. Let's give a big round of applause, boys and girls. May I request Shri Satyendra Singh, sir, Chief General Manager and CIO, to please welcome IDRDT Director, Dr. Deepak Kumar. Thank you, sir. Request Shri Ashutosh Mishra ji to please come up to welcome our CGM and CRO, Shri P. Harikrishnan, sir. May this plant represent the enduring partnership, shared aspirations, and new responsibilities that we celebrate today. I now request Shri Ashok Madan, our DGM, sir, to please come forward and welcome Professor of IIT Hyderabad, Shri Soban Babu. Thank you all. May I now request, respectfully invite our esteemed dignitaries to please come forward for lighting of the ceremonial lamp and grace this auspicious occasion by invoking Lord Ganesha, the Vignaharta for all of us. And to mark this occasion, Mr. Sastri of IIT Hyderabad, he'll be singing I also request FGM of Hyderabad, Shri Manoj Srivastava, Shri Mukesh Kumar, Zonal Manager, Telangana, Shri Tushar Kant Jha, DGM, LCB Hyderabad, to please come and join them on the stage for lighting of the lamp. All of you have worked very hard, sir, for all these days. Please come. And Mr. Shastri, yeah, please come.
गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमस्त्रमस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजनीवती दीनामवत्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्जयत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Thank you.
Thank you, Shastriji, for invoking the blessings of Lord Ganesha by chanting the shlokas from Upanishad. I request all of you to please stand up for Vande Mataram.
वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् कोटि कोटि कंठ कल कल निनाद कराले कोटि कोटि भुजय कृत खल करवाले केवल मातुमी अबले बाहुबल धारिणी नमामि तारिणी त्रिपुदल वारिणी मातरं वन्दे मातरम् तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्म तुमि हृदि तुमि मर्म त्वं हि प्राणः शरीरे बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गढ़ी मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमल दल विहारिणी वाणी विद्या दायिनी नमामि त्वां नमामि कमलां अमलां अतुलां सुजलां सुफलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं धरणीं मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
Thank you all. To continue with the program of today evening, I request Shri P. Harikishan, sir, the Chief General Manager and CRO of Bank of India, to please come and give his welcome address.
Respected MD and CEO of Bank of India, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak, Director IDRBT Hyderabad, Shri Deepak Kumar, Registrar IIT, Mr. V. Venkat Rao, esteemed members of the jury from CDAT, IDRBT, IIT Hyderabad, McKinsey and Deloitte, my colleagues from Bank of India, and most importantly, the 72 participants from the premier education institutions of this country who have participated in the grand finale of the Hackathon 2026 conducted by Bank of India and IIT Hyderabad. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the concluding ceremony of the Hackathon 2026 series. As I said, it was conducted jointly by BOA and IIT Hyderabad. It's a matter of pride for us that an institution of the stature of IIT Hyderabad has become our partner in this initiative and endeavor. This is the second year of our participation. We started this hackathon series in the year 2025, and when we did the first round of hackathon, we received 700 registrations, and we thought the response was overwhelming. Guess what? This time the number of registrations surged to 3,000. Thanks to the team from BOI and IIT Hyderabad. The objective of conducting this hackathon is to combine the domain expertise of the bank, the technical excellence of IIT, and harness the potential of the students from premier institutes of the country to develop newest solutions for the bank, for its various use cases of the bank. The bank, by its very nature, is exposed to various kinds of risks. And the risk landscape of the bank keeps shifting every time there is an exogenous or an endogenous factor. Keeping that in mind, I think the two problem statements for this hackathon couldn't have been more apt. They are quite relevant to the risk landscape that the banks are exposed to at this juncture. So the first challenge was to develop a model to detect fraudulent mobile applications, that is APKs. Mobile applications are an integral part of our digital banking services. The incidences of fraudsters exploiting the ecosystem through malicious applications have been on the rise. Typically, the fraudsters use APK files, fraudulent APK files for credential harvesting, OTP interception, string capture, and these are for undertaking unauthorized transactions and defraud the gullible customers of the bank. The expectations of the teams participating in the hackathon was to create a model that would harness Gen AI to identify the suspicious code, correlate the findings of SAST and DAST, and generate a risk score for identifying potentially fraudulent APKs. The second challenge was to develop an AI/ML embedded model for detecting suspicious transactions and identifying mule accounts that are used to launder ill-gotten money. Just to give a perspective as to how acute the problem of mule accounts is in the ecosystem today, these are ICOC stats. In any given month, there are 2 lakh accounts which are identified as mule accounts across the banking system. Since I4C came into existence, a total of 65,000 crores has been laundered through these mule accounts, or attempted to be laundered through these mule accounts. Banks have in place a rule-based engines to detect these kind of mule accounts, and the banks have been able to save only 10,000 crores from moving out of the system. It is expected that the solutions which you have showcased today will have AI/ML embedded into it, and we will be able to detect more number of mule accounts and save more money from getting out of the banking system. Sir, this was a 2-day event, sir. Out of the 3,000 applications we had received for the hackathon, 72, the IIT Hyderabad, the students and professors of IIT Hyderabad had evaluated the solutions, and they had shortlisted 72 for the grand finale, sir. As I said, this was a 2-day event. On the first day, the jury consisting of employees of Bank of India and professors of IIT Hyderabad, they had evaluated and selected 9 solutions or tools for the grand finale, sir. There were 2 problem statements, 36 participants for each of the problem statements, and 9 were shortlisted for the finale, sir. And sir, I was part, and on the second day, these 18 solutions were evaluated by a grand jury, as I said, consisting of professors of IIT Hyderabad, Bank of India, IDRBT, CDAC, and representatives from McKinsey and Deloitte. Sir. What we have seen, and what is encouraging to note, that the participants did not treat this hackathon as an academic exercise and made an earnest effort to address the real-world problems of the bank by developing deployable models for the banks. I must hasten here to add, I did say that deployable models, but sir, these models require further refinement. They need to be tested further, validated further, sir. But this is just a beginning, sir. I know you're all waiting for the announcement of the winners. There'll be some winners today. There'll be runners-ups, and there will be some who will miss the podium. This is the concluding ceremony for the event, but it is not the end point. For most of you, it will be the beginning of a larger journey going forward. This is the harbinger of the times to come to you. I wish you all the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite to the podium the pillar in bringing this together, the Cyber Shield Hackathon, Shri Soban Babu, Professor, IIT Hyderabad, to please come and give a brief on what has gone through in these 2 days.
Good evening to all dignitaries and my colleagues and students. So the collaboration with Bank of India and IIT Hyderabad is quite a lot of experience we learned. IIT Hyderabad also gained a lot of experience in the financial technologies because of collaboration with IIT Hyderabad. And we expect a further collaboration. This collaboration will continue with Bank of India. And come to this event, as we received more than 3,000 applications, and shortlisting was really challenging for us. And we went through 4 rounds of shortlisting, in fact, not 1 round, because we can't bring 3,000 to 72 in one stretch. We went from 4 rounds of shortlisting and we bring down to 72 applications. It is really challenging for us. The initial round, it taken us around a month time to do this activity. And later, the last 2 days, we evaluated, and the solutions are really interesting solutions, but there is a lot of scope to improve. So I request all the participants to keep working on this problem or similar problems which are important to the nation. That's my request. This is what I want to say. Thank you for all.
He believes in showing results rather than talking. Thank you very much, sir. Now I want you all to take a moment to run across the video glimpse, a little peep into the last 2 days of grill and grind, which depicts the reflection of hard work, fun, and dedication of all those who were involved in this event. A short video clip to be played now, the team at the console, kindly.
We also have plans for that. Let us make Hackathon a fun event apart from being a techno event, right?
It was really smooth, and we got quick responses for whatever we have asked. And not only us, there are many teams and many teammates also.
We all are very nationalistic, and we want to use our skills to help improve and help our nation grow, because it's growing at a very fast pace and very beautifully, and we want to be a part of Vikasit Bharat.
Yes.
I personally was working on these type of problem statements for last 4 months. So yeah, so thank you for the motivation to really find the solution for this problem.
We had to figure out all the logistics and everything, and it honestly feels very surreal to be here. It's a very nice experience. We are meeting very knowledgeable people here, and yeah, it's a nice experience.
We have organized along with that in collaboration with IIT Hyderabad. So I'm just very enthused and very nice to see that the number of participants and the way they are presenting all the problem statements given to them.
Team from the IT side was very good, and our operations and logistics same time. Overall, the coordination committee was very impressive, and it was really a good experience for execution of this hackathon. Yes.
It has been excellent. It is the second time that we are doing this hackathon. The first time was in 2025.
Okay.
We had a wonderful experience, and that is why we are coming to IIT Hyderabad again this time to scale it and to see better results.
So this problem set will help us to learn about fintech, finance and banking sector.
Yeah.
That is also
Collaboration of finance and technology.
Most of us are trying to target fintech.
To understand this banking domain along with the technology.
Okay.
So this cross-functional understanding, students are having a very nice understanding of that also.
Yeah, I did face some challenges trying to coordinate my teammates in trying to come to the hackathon physically.
Thank you very much, team. Now it's an honor and privilege to invite a very distinguished leader, the director of Institute for Development and Research in Banking Technology, Dr. Deepak Kumar. He's a very important person for the banking sector and a veteran in the field of banking, having served over 3 decades at RBI and superannuating as Executive Director. Please, sir, we welcome you.
Good afternoon and a nice day. As we started the day with Vandana, Deepvilan and Upanishad. So Upanishad is not just to recall what was told earlier. There is future is also involved there. I see PQC in Upanishad. Srishti is Drishti, Antaryami. Again, how to know what others are thinking. So AI. So future and Upanishad, how it's done. I don't want to take much time, but for young students, I will see last 40 years, how we have developed, and next 40 years, what is coming. And there I will just give 4 variables which will decide next 40 years. It's not AI, it's not PQC, but it's demography in India. Next 40 years, today we have demographic dividend. After 40 years, we have non-working population from both sides, more than 60 as well as less than 25 or 20. Then globally, how it is happening? 2 incidents or 2 trends. One is looking inward. Looking inward, when I say major groupings be it NATO, be it OPEC, be it 4I, all are crumbling. Everybody is looking inward. For own country, that means self-reliance. So we have to go for that. Next, economic macro variable, how it's changing across the globe. When you talk about demography or future generation, we have to see the GDP and debt ratio. The debt GDP ratio of India today, it's 80%, whereas the competitive country emerging market like US, it's 100%, now it's crossing almost. China, state and central, it's almost 98%, but if we put the local government, it touches 300%. All European countries except Germany is touching 100. Whereas after 40 years, our GDP debt ratio would be around 50 or 60 in that bandwidth. What does it say? When higher debt GDP ratio, that means today's generation is consuming what future generation will earn. So our position is much more better, so that's the potential. And the uncertainty, the way it's changing. So this hackathon is process to make you ready, think future, how to hack marathon, how to hack the marathon of global economic development. So all the best for future 40 years, 50 years, and better life, better ESG, because the new race for more compute and all that is also going to affect the environment, sustainability, and governance. So take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Just want to announce here that the director of IIT Hyderabad, Professor B.S. Murthy, will be joining us anytime through WebEx. He's not with us here today physically, so he'll be joining us through WebEx anytime in between. Now it's my pleasure in inviting the Registrar of IIT Hyderabad, Shri V. Venkatarao Garu. Please, sir.
Good evening, dignitaries on the dais and distinguished guests, dear participants, IITH faculty and staff. Very warm welcome to all of you to this institution of IIT Hyderabad. I have a structured message which will take at least 2 to 3 minutes. I hope you will bear with me. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this special occasion, the prize distribution ceremony of Cybersecurity Hackathon, organized jointly by Bank of India and IIT Hyderabad. I'm informed that this is the second time actually that, this is the second time. I know that last time also I was here. I'm informed that 3,000 participants have participated in this. So this is really a very big and remarkable thing. So why can't we clap for ourselves? So thank you very much. So this gives a lot of enthusiasm. A tremendous talent is there, enthusiasm is there to actually participate in this kind of hackathons. And this will definitely prove to be a kind of collective determination to build a safer and digital India. As you know that I don't know, I'm an administrative man, but I think whatever I think about the cybersecurity, I have just written down 2-3 lines. Hope it will be in order. Cybersecurity, as you know, that it's no longer merely a technical concern, but it's a matter of trust, resilience, economic security, and national importance. And both the entities, Bank of India and IIT Hyderabad, they are actually distinguished themselves in their own fields. One is economist, one is banker, and the other one is actually an academic institute conducting, imparting education and research. But when both these entities, they have joined together at the instance of Government of India, Ministry of Finance, so this hackathon has been made possible. So therefore, a big clap for all the three entities. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I would like to sincerely appreciate Bank of India for partnering with IIT Hyderabad in this important initiative. At IIT Hyderabad, we strongly believe that technology and research should not remain confined to laboratories or publications. They must contribute to solving real problems and creating a positive difference in society. And this hackathon is a kind of example of that philosophy. So now a few words to our winners from my side. First of all, congratulations. And to all the winners, let's give a big round of applause. My dear winners, your achievement is in recognition of your ideas, technical abilities, teamwork, and perseverance. You have already distinguished yourselves in highly competitive environment, and you should be proud of your achievement. But I would also like to remind you that this award is not the end of your journey, but this is a great beginning of a larger responsibility. So please continue to ask difficult questions, continue to challenge existing systems, continue to innovate, and most importantly, always use your knowledge and talent for the benefit of society and nation. And one more thing I should not forget, that congratulations goes to winners, definitely, but my congratulations also goes to all those 3,000 participants, those who have contributed their best in making this wonderful program a successful one. So let's continue to strengthen the collaboration between academia and industry and young innovators. I hope IIT Hyderabad will be the front runner to support such kind of hackathons or events. So thank you very much for this opportunity and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring words. Means a lot to the student community and also to Bank of India. And we look forward to collaborating with you in future too. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the very fact that our MD and CEO, sir, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak ji, is here today amongst all of you goes on to show that how important it is for him and for Bank of India, how it matters to us, this collaboration and this hackathon at IIT Hyderabad. I now request our MD and CEO, sir, to please come and address the student gathering.
Thank you, madam. Good evening, everyone. So first of all, IIT Hyderabad Registrar V. Venkat Rao sir, Professor S. Babuji, IDBRT Director Sri Deepak Kumar ji, on the dais our CRO Harikishan, and also on the dais our CGM IT Satyendra Singh, other jury members, faculty, senior officials, colleagues from Bank of India, and our young innovators, and also team members from McKinsey and Deloitte. I am happy to join all of you in the concluding ceremony of the Cyber Shield Hackathon, the Bank of India Cybersecurity, Fraud and Artificial Intelligence Hackathon 2026. Banking has undergone a remarkable transformation over the last few years. A large part of the customer interaction has shifted from the physical branches to the digital channels, making payments instantaneous. UPI has just completed 10 years. Services are available round the clock, and data has become powerful tool for understanding and serving the customers better. With the rapid progress comes an equally critical responsibility. The faster banking becomes, the quicker we must identify and respond to the cyber risks which are there. Artificial intelligence and machine learning offer powerful ways to strengthen this capability and address the complex challenges in the modern banking. It is in this spirit of continuous innovation that we continue to nurture collaborative platforms. Building on the strong response we have received last year through the FinShield Hackathon, it is heartening to see that this platform has grown further in the 2026 edition also, bringing together banking experience, academic knowledge, and young technological talent to solve the real world problems we encounter in banking. So it is very important that we embark on technology. To make the technology success, the technology should have speed, it should have scale, and it should also have security. A very successful example of this 3S, which is the speed, scalability, and the security, is the UPI platform in the country today. Because of these three things, it has become so successful in the country. The other part is on the digital transformation at the Bank of India. So if I take you through that, technology continues to be key enabler of the bank's business. The focus remains on building the bank that is digital, data-driven, resilient, and secure. Bank of India has taken digital transformation initiatives like the strategic pillars, one of them being Star Aditya, which is the data analytics platform, Star Nextech, which is the digital transformation platform, Star Udan, which is the resource mobilization platform, Starlight, which is the IT transformation platform. Each of these projects are aimed at making the bank more efficient, more customer-centric, and more future-ready. As far as the digital growth is concerned in the system, in the financial year 26, I am happy to share with you that the alternate delivery channels, we had 7.6 billion transactions, which means 760 crore transactions, with a YOY growth of more than 22%. As far as the UPI customers are concerned, Bank of India as on March 26 is having 2.71 crore customers who are active on the UPI, and out of that, 51 lakh were new customers which were there in the financial year 26. As far as the Bank of India cyber security is concerned, we have a very proactive threat hunting team which identifies hidden threats and suspicious activities. Breach and attack simulation solution, which is the BAS of the bank, continuously tests the effectiveness of the internal security controls by simulating the real world attacks. Third is the attack surface management, which is the ASM solution, which provides visibility of the bank's digital assets, dark web assessment, and the potential vulnerabilities which are there in the system. Security orchestration, automation, and response, which is the SOAR solution, enables faster and automated incident response, reducing mean time to respond, MTTR, in the bank. Existing efforts in the bank for addressing the mule account is also there. Bank of India is very much live on the mulehunter.ai, which is the RBI IH platform. We have our own platform, which is the MLOG platform. Apart from these two, we are fully integrated with the NPCI platform on the alerts. We are also integrated on a real-time basis with the I4C, which is from the Ministry of Home Affairs. And we are also integrated with the DOT, Department of Telecom, wherein they are sending the suspicious mobile numbers, which is there. I'm happy to share with you that in the last 15 months, that is up to June 26, we have been able to, in the mule accounts, we have been able to monitor and also nullify 7 lakh accounts which were mule accounts in the banking system in Bank of India. And the amount involved is more than 219 crores in the last 15 months up to June 26. That has been the success as far as the cyber security platform is there. As regards our Cyber Shield Hackathon is there, the two of the themes have already been explained by Harikishan. I will not go much into that. Both of them are very meaningful as far as the banking system is concerned, and particularly we are more concerned as Bank of India also. And it is very heartening to see that both the themes have been adopted in the 2026 editions, and lot of work has been done on that. In fact, I am happy to share with you that when I was there on Monday in Ahmedabad, in the Gift City, when I conducted a town hall meeting in our FGMO, Ahmedabad, which takes care of the Gujarat state, we also awarded 2 of our officers of 2 different branches in the Gujarat state, wherein both of them helped 2 of the customers to get trapped under the cyber security threat which had come to them, and they had come to the branch for encashing their deposits. One of the customer had come to encash around 32 lakhs, and the another customer in another city and town had come to encash around 38 lakhs. And both these vigilant staff were able to understand the threat which was there on the customer, the issue which the customer was facing, and with little bit of counseling and talking to the customer and communicating with both these customers, both of these staff were able to convince the customer to lodge the complaint with the police. FIR was lodged, and both these customers were able to save 32 lakh and 39 lakh each. So though cyber security is one part, the technology is one part, but beyond the technology, the person at the branch is also very, very important. That once everything has been like uh, not taken care of, and finally the customer has come to encash his deposits for the cyber threat which has come to a person individual in his account. The alertness of the bank staff is something which is very, very important in order to help the customer save his money. Now, as regards our Cyber Shield Hackathon of 26 is concerned, some of the key highlights which have already been spoken is that there were around 3,000 registrations, and the shortlisted participants, I am happy to share with you, which my team has given, is 232 were the shortlisted participants. The shortlisted entries were also 72, and 68 teams were there, and also 4 individual entries were also there. And as far as the female participation, gender diversity is concerned, 81 females were also there, and 35% of the shortlisted participants were females. Big congratulations for that also to all the females who were there part of this thing. Problem statements, as we are aware, were 3, and the final prototype presentation was held yesterday and today, 27th and 28th of August. And the price per problem statement, though it is a very nominal price, I can say, but nonetheless it's very valuable. For the first prize we are giving around 5,000 rupees, the second prize is 3 lakhs, and the third prize is 2 lakhs. And my compliments and congratulations to all the participants who have participated in this 2026 edition hackathon. My congratulations to whoever will be the winners, the 1, 2 and 3. My big congratulations to them, and my compliments to everyone for participating and showing their character in being part of this 2026 hackathon. As far as the final message is concerned, I would particularly like to make a point in mentioning the participating teams that do not look at the today's event as the finish line. A hackathon prototype is an excellent beginning, but also a solution must travel much further. It must integrate with the existing systems. It should meet the requirements relating to the information security, privacy, regulatory compliance, and also the auditability. Similarly, remain reliable when deployed at scale, and be consistent in solving the problem in a live environment. That is the journey from innovation to implementation. Product development will continue beyond the grand finale. I therefore encourage the team selected today to use the next phase, strengthen the solutions further. And also, we have to be very mindful of the fact that the DPDP Act, which is the Personal Data Protection Act, Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, is also going live in the Q1 of FY 27-28. I would also like to acknowledge the role of Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, and the Indian Bank Association in creating a platform through which public sector banks can encourage directly with the students, educational institutions, and innovators. Our association with IIT Hyderabad has enabled us to bring academic and technical expertise into this exercise, and I sincerely appreciate their support throughout the hackathon. Thank you, sir, to IIT Hyderabad. My congratulations and compliments to you for supporting Bank of India in this hackathon. And I also thank the participation and the help which has been given by IDBRT for this entire exercise. And I also compliment the jury members and the members who have invested their time in evaluating the ideas and guiding the teams throughout this exercise. My appreciation also goes to our colleagues who have worked over the past several months to take this initiative from planning to the execution stage. I congratulate all the participants again and wish the very best to the teams for moving into the next stage of the product development. Keep experimenting, keep improving your solutions, and above all, build technology that people and the country which can be trusted. Thank you so much, and my congratulations in advance to all the winners. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of encouragement. We want to acknowledge the presence of Shri G. Nagesh, President of Bank of India Officers Association. Sir is with us here today. Thank you for coming. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for which you all have been waiting for since last 2 days. Yeah, now I can see some smiling faces. I'm delighted to announce the names of the winners of this extraordinary extravaganza of Hackathon journey. Today is not just a conclusion, but it's a celebration. I'll go in the reverse order. For problem statement 1, runners up 2. Any guesses? It is Team Logic Foundry. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Team Logic Foundry. You're sitting right at the back, huh? Come. It's represented by Mr. Prajan Sudarshan Patil and Mr. Sujal Jitendra Deshmukh. Please come forward to accept your prize money. May I request? Yes. So these are the two gentlemen you can see on stage, the screen. Mr. Prajan Sudarshan Patil, sir, and Sri Sujal Jitendra Deshmukh. They get a cash reward of 2 lakhs of rupees. So I presume it's going to be 1 lakh each for you. Kindly hand over the certificate also. So you can just hand it over as it is. Yeah. Both the certificates are kept inside. So congratulations once again to Team Foundry, Logic Foundry. Thank you. Now the runners-up 1. It is Team 5. Team 5. Let's clap for Team 5. Come on. It's represented by Mr. Rahul Jalutria, Danish Verma, Varun Gupta, and Avneet Kaur. We have a lady representation here. Come on in. They get a cash reward of 3 lakhs of rupees. Who is Rahul Jathuria? Please raise your hand. Rahul. Who's Danish Verma? Just raise your hand so that everybody could see you. He's Danish. Who's Varun Gupta? Yeah, Varun is small. And Avneet Kaur. Thank you. Bill, thank you very much. They are from Chandigarh University. Since the prizes were kept such a secret that I got it in the very last moment. So it was Chandigarh University students Now for problem statement 1, the winners are. Anybody? Any wild guess? Well, उन्होंने अपने टीम का नाम सार्थक किया है. मैं क्लू देती हूँ. अपनी टीम का नाम उन्होंने सार्थक किया है. They have lived up to the name of their team. Now you can say, it is Team Vijaya. Please come. Team Vijaya, represented by Mr. Sarthak Maheshwari, Mr. Chandrahas Reddy, Mr. Abhinav Sikarwar, and Mr. Ayush Kumar. They are from IIIT Bangalore. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for these brilliant minds. Who is Sarthak here? Hi Sarthak, Chandrahas, Abhinav, and of course, Ayush. So Team Vijaya has proved that they are indeed the winners. Wish you all the best and heartiest congratulations. She's Arismita. She's Arismita. It was IIIT Bangalore, sir. The first runner-up. The second was Chandigarh. The first runner-up. The first runner-up has to. Yeah, please tell me your which institute you represent. NIT Goa. Oh, wonderful. Great. Great. Now coming to the winners of problem statement 2. The runners-up 2 here. I'll give you a clue that there's a repetition in the names of the winners, you know. For problem statement 1 also they were there. So anybody can guess who will be the runners-up 2 here? Okay, they'll be coming later. It is Luna Lupa. It's Luna Lupa. Yeah, come on. Sai Kishan, KM Pradyut, Sanjeev. It is PES University, Bangalore. Team Luna Lupa from PES University, Bangalore. Please come on. Sai Kishan, KM Pradyut, and Sanjeev KS. Congratulations, gentlemen. We thank you for your participation, the wholehearted participation. Brilliant. Now runners up 2. Now there is a repetition in the name. It is again the Team Vijaya. Huge round of applause for Team Vijaya for IIIT Bangalore. Sarthak, Chandrahas, Arismita. It's a celebration of ideas born, skills tested, and limits pushed. Heartiest congratulations. Team Vijaya, you have proved that you are the real winners. So how much it is? 5 plus 3, 8. Enough amount. Isn't it cool? Thank you. So, coming to the last part of it, problem statement 2, and the winners are. Now I am amazed to see the names, the synchronization of the names and the winners. The team's name here is We Are the Winners. We are the winners. Come on in. Amaratya Singh and Suvi Jain. Amaratya, you are having a very, renowned name, a Nobel Prize winner. So no doubt that you are the winner here. They are from IIIT Delhi, from the national capital. Suvi Jain and Amaratya Singh, they won a cash prize of 5 lakhs. I request all the winners to please come forward for a group photograph. I mean to say all the winners, runners-up, all. Kindly come forward and be a little fast. We can have a group photograph with our dignitaries on the dais. With your checks. You have to come with your checks. You have to come with your checks, gentlemen. What is it? Lights, the camera. much for your enthusiastic participation, all students from length and breadth of India. Thank you all.
So good evening. We have just came to the end of this year's hackathon. It was a well represented hackathon, and one good news for the participants who are the winners is bank is participating and actively in our GFF Global FinTech Festival. All winners are invited in this GFF, which is going to happen in Mumbai. Okay, enjoy. Thank you.
Well, shortly we'll be having the presentation from both the winning team, problem statement 1 and 2. Before that, a small announcement that the director of IIT Hyderabad is unfortunately not able to join, sir, because of some immigration. He's held up in some immigration checkup issues. So we'll not be fortunate enough to listen to him. So a small token of love and affection to all our esteemed guests. I would request my team here to please come forward with a small token. I request our MD and CEO, sir, to please hand over a small gift to Shri V. Venkata Rao, sir, the Registrar of IIT Hyderabad, for his immense contribution and invaluable support rendered. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I request our CRO, Sir Shri P. Harikishanji, to give IDRBT Director, Dr. Deepak Kumar. Request Shri Satyendra Singh, CIU, to hand over a small gift to Shri Sobhan Babu, Professor, IIT Hyderabad. Thank you very much. So we request all the dignitaries on the dais to please occupy your seat down below, because now we are going to have the presentations of the winners. So it will be easier for you to see. Thank you, sir. Now I request problem statement 1 winners, Vijaya, Team Vijaya, to please come up. They are preparing well, huh? Just 2 minutes. May I call upon the problem statement 2 winners, we are the winners, to please come backstage and do your preparation so that time is managed. Kindly. You can keep it there, nobody will take you. Take it. He's worried about his check. Come, come. the team from IIIT Bangalore, Vijaya, represented by Mr. Sarthak Maheshwari, Chandrahas Reddy, Harsh Mohta, and Arismita Mukherjee.
Good evening, everyone. We are Team Vijaya. We'll be presenting our solution, APK Sentinel. So basically, while we were researching, we were mainly interested in solving two problems, like from the two perspectives. One is from the customer point of view, and the other one is from the bank's point of view. So let's just imagine two people. One is Priya, who gets a WhatsApp message forwarded to her for updating her KYC. So she's about to install a fake banking app. At the same time, Ravi, a bank's fraud analyst, is about to spend next 4 hours of his life reverse engineering an APK. So to solve these two problems, we have built one engine, that is APK Sentinel. We solve it in seconds, not in hours. I'll be showing you the demo video. Okay, so here is our demo. So we have actually built an official app registry which contains of 65 Indian banks as well as their UPIs with down to their certificate, so that whenever an APK is submitted, we can match their actual certificate. So here we'll be uploading a suspicious HDFC KYC update app, which is actually a malware. It's processing right now. So in the running stage, there are mainly two signals which we can see here. One is the tier 1 and one is the tier 2. In the tier 1, it basically sees all the static signals, which finishes in around 15 to 20 minutes. So in tier 1, mainly we check for the combination of signals, a combination of permissions instead of the permissions independently. So a combination of signals such as overlay plus posting a request to a hard-coded server is a sign of OTP theft instead of normally just showing an overlay, which every banking app does for autofilling of OTP. So the next stage is our tier 2, which is actually whenever tier 1 is not certain, it gets forwarded to our tier 2, which is a deep AI forensics containing of our AI models that read the code and actually mark the paths where it's highly suspicious. And we also have a call graph structure. Instead of not only seeing the code names, so that every malicious app can randomly rename their code functions and function calls, we actually see the behavior of the code and we compare it against known banking trojans and give them a probability of how highly malicious they are. So here is our verdict tab. There is mainly the risk score, which bank it's impersonating, and the top indicators of what push the model to give this verdict. At the bottom, we have our Maitres attack mobile. So this is basically any person, we wanted any person without any technical background can visit our app. So we have provided citations of every claim. This citations is quite different. So whenever he clicks this link, he can actually read through the documentation of citation and understand what our model is saying. Next is our impersonation tab, which has three separate proofs. One is the certificate, next is the identity, and last is the visual. So here we can clearly see this APK has gotten a confirmed mismatch of the certificate. And next is our code findings tab. This part is basically what code the AI has read after the decompilation. So at the top, you can see it reads incoming SMS bodies and posts them to a hard-coded endpoint, which is a common signal of it doing an OTP theft. And we can actually see which part of the code it is referring to as well on your right. And at the bottom, we have our call graph structure, which shows something quite different to what we have seen through LLM models and etc. So it reads our code structure instead of the code's content, and it compares with the known banking Trojan family structure and gives it a probability. Next is our behavior tab. Uh, this shows what our app actually did when it actually ran in our sandboxed environment. At around 4 seconds, an overlay is being shown, and then it did a post request to a hard-coded endpoint again. So this actually proves the point of the LLM findings when the app actually ran. And next we have our dropper chain. So smart Trojans and banking malwares, they install clean and they install the malicious software at a later point in time, not at the instant install. So when running in a sandbox, we have found out that at the 11-second mark, it downloaded a payload, and then we investigated the payload, and it has given us a 98% risk as well. And next we have our network and IOC tab, which is basically extracting all the hard-coded UPI IDs as well as the phone numbers in the decompilation code so that we can send it to a bank's fraud assessment team, which can assess them. And if malicious or suspicious found, they can take them down as well. Next is our attribution tab, which I've discussed already. We check the similarities with existing banking Trojans and give them a probability score, which then gets converted to the risk score. Next is our intent divergence, which is a major part. So we are actually comparing what the app claims to do versus what it actually does. So we are extracting strings in the UI and passing it to an LLM model, which gives the category of the app. And then from the permissions it requires and all the other things which has done in sandbox, we are verdicting it and comparing what it has done with what it actually claims. Higher the intent divergence, higher the probability that it is a malicious software. And last one is our evidence store. So the signals from all the tabs get stored here. This is an append-only store so that every person can audit this later. So this was a solution. Thank you.
Team Vijaya, you have proved that you belong to this space. You can create under pressure, and this is only the beginning for a thoughtful solution and great imagination. Heartiest congratulations once again. तालियों में कंजूसी नहीं करनी है. A louder clap. For problem statement 2, we are the winners, and I think they are already ready with their presentation. Mr. Amaratya Singh and Subhi Jain.
Hello everyone here. We are the team named We Are Winners. We'll be presenting our solution on the problem statement 2, which was mule detection. A quick glance. What we had a data set of 9,000 accounts, of which around 89% was good, some was bad. Going on to what mule accounts are. Mule accounts in general may not seem as big of a problem, but at the end of every phishing, every scam, every UPI link, every link misclicked ends up in a mule account. So mule account is one of the key factors and core sectors that we need to fight off. After that, if previously what we had different rule engines. What we do is we have different features, different authorities, and an analyst has to manually go through them and figure out what account was mule and was not. What we did was we made a system that can have the decision in 27 milliseconds. So it's real time. It's not past days or T+1. Coming on, what we do is we have 3 different parameters. Either the account can be clear or it can be queued. You can't trust the model completely. So what we have is if the probability seems a little off, it goes directly to the human in the loop. The analyst will be the end user and reviewing it. But from the previous 9,000 accounts, now he has barely 100 to 150 accounts. Now escrow, if the account seems seriously mule, it's straight out rejected. The transaction freezes. Now, a bit about the dataset. The dataset was quite good. Not that good in terms of representation, but it had 9,000 accounts and there were 80% mules. So there was a bit of an issue with variety. One key factor we found was the data was quite biased. So this was one of the major issues we are fighting almost all of the solution building, how to remove this bias because all of the data comes from a single month. Coming on to what we did. The first was a phase 1.2 pipeline. What it does, it makes a mixed ensemble model of 2-3 different models bunched together to give the peak performance. Other than that, there's a fast API engine that can resolve almost all of the queries under 30 milliseconds. And a Next.js framework front end where the analyst can actually review it rather than looking at the codes. Okay, so the song is string mill. My bad. Okay, so this now coming on to one of the key issues with models. Models tend to hallucinate. If a model is saying I am 80% sure, there is a very high chance at max it would be 50% sure. So what we did, we had to recalibrate the score. So now if the model says 80% surety, it's actually the probability of 80%. So we had to recalibrate using the polynomial PHICP recalibration. So now it has almost perfect scoring of 1.02. So if the model is saying 80%, it's at max 1% off. It's 80% or 81% sure. Coming on to the production. Model is good, but we need a powerful backend engine to support the model. Most of the like half of the requests are in under 17 milliseconds, and most of them are under 30 milliseconds. And all of this data comes from my local laptop. So just imagine the possibilities on an actual production server. It could be far less. Other than that, these are the few things we've had. Like for example, tree shap. When a model makes a decision, we need to know why. You can't just assume that if a model is saying yes, it's yes. We need to know the actual figures for why it was there and why we happen to on the solution. Other than that, we had these are a few metrics of the models we had. Most of our latency is under 30 milliseconds. The model size is very low. It's 210 kilobytes. So it's not, the whole backend can be moved around in less than 10 MB. So that's our lightweight model. A few issues were there, like if you just move any random feature, it will have 99% accuracy. So we have to fix that bias, again, because of the bias. Other than that, there was a big issue. At the end of the day, model is a model. It's gonna have some issues. So what we did was, whatever was missed, we made an anomaly model. The anomaly model, what it did was, its only task was to say whatever the first model said, is it correct or not? So now we had not just had an agent doing our stuff, we had a cross-reviewer cross-reviewing what it did and what it did not. So that way the dual system was much better than the previous one. So these are the 5 metrics. Now this is the actual prototype. This is the front end. Here we have some key metrics for what the actual model is being used, how many accounts have been stirred, and what is the backend latency. And what is it going on? It's real-time calculated. We have a stream of transactions of what happened, what not. Like for example, 10,000 was debited from the ATM. We have 20,000 going on from UPI. So, and for every single issue that was found, we can have a detailed analysis of what it was there and why it was there. It has the features of tree shape explanation. So now the analyst can look at this dashboard and directly know, because of account recency lag, this account was flagged. It does not has to go through the entire code or the entire feature structure to know why it was flagged. Other than that, the whole concept of Mule is networks. So we need to know which network is it connected to, where was the payment coming from, and where it was going to. So now we don't know just the account, we know the entire network it was working in. So if an account is in network, there's a very high chance it's either a victim or it's another Mule account. Other than that, there are some latencies for what it was. Most of them is the model, but even after complete, the model is highly lightweight and functional. Now coming on to the registry. In production, you can't have a software engineer every time making a new model after a few days. So what we did was, we had a registry dashboard where you can entirely train a model just using a click of a button. You don't need to do any code, you don't need to go any backend. You can create the model myself. You can choose any model what you want, whatever it is. It also has a zero time downtime, so you don't have any downtime. All the models are preloaded, so we don't have any downtime if you have any changing of model, any retraining of model. Other than that, this is the cross verifier. The primary engine is our model that we created. It's very good. It's 97% accurate. But even after that, why remain the 3%? So we had a cross verifier of anomaly detector. It will, from the 3%, it catches around 1.5 to 2% of the data. So barely 1% of the data slips by. Like even from the 93 Mule accounts, only 4 of them were slipping. Rest all of them were being covered. And this was our presentation. Thank you.
The lady preferred to keep quiet. Heartiest congratulations once again. We are the winners for a standout project that truly captured the spirit of this hackathon. Congratulations. Let's wind up this chapter with pride in what we have accomplished and excitement for what comes next. I request Shri Satyendra Singh sir to please come forward for his vote of thanks. And then we will all stand for the national anthem. Before that, I'd like to say that the goodies and the certificates can be collected for problem statement 1. It is in seminar 1. Seminar Hall 1 and problem statement 2, it is Seminar Hall 2. So all the students can get it from the respective seminars. Thank you.
दो मिनट और अभी चेक्स इन कैश नहीं हुए हैं. Okay, now we have come to the end of this year's hackathon. Distinguished representative from IIT Hyderabad, IDRBT and CDAC, respected jury members, faculty members, mentors, colleagues, and CISO team. Very good evening to all of you. As we come to the close of the Cyber Shield Hackathon 2026, it is my privilege on behalf of Bank of India family to propose a vote of thanks. I convey our sincere thanks to our respected MD CEO sir for his keynote address and guidance. It was really thought-provoking, and sometimes we in IT get amused the way he articulates the IT important topics. So that way his interest and he is concerned with the changing things. That is amazing, and it gives us a lot of challenges to outpace the peers in the industry. Sir, your thoughts were very relevant, and I think the new innovators which you addressed, probably they will be benefited. This is just beginning, as you said. So there are many more better and more complex problem statements they are going to solve in their lives, and we are very sure. In fact, when we interact with them, we as you have rightly observed, their thought was very new, and they were entire all nine team members which we interacted today. There was a very little gap in their thoughts, in the way they were solutioning. So that was really great to hear. The country will be moving in a very some near future. We will be self-reliant. The days are not far. So our special thanks to IIT Hyderabad. Director B.R. Murthy Saab is in his absentia. Venkat Rao sir, Dr. Shubhan, and Deepak Kumarji from IDRBT. I think we are engaged with IDRBT since long, and I was just referring him. See, we need to expand our relationship, sir. I will be coming to you as well. Sir, my sincere appreciation to the jury members. Actually, this time we have expanded the jury, and we have brought in CDAC, we have brought in more objectivity in the evaluation. Last time we were hosting this first time, so we were also learning. But this time, the way we have evaluated the code, brought this subject matter experts. So I think evaluation was much better, and the participation was also very good. We were also challenged on their ideas, what they were trying to present. And at last, the participants, from whom I think for last 3-4 months they were working very tirelessly on the solutioning. Jokingly, IdeaBeti team asked, कि उनका developer कौन है, because lot of things were coming common. End of back end, it was getting the same thoughts or concept. But really, you have applied your minds. You have tried to understand the financial problem. You tried to solve the problem, not just do the prototype. That was good. We have observed that. And that is reflected in the solutioning also. When we asked you to run the codes, the confidence was there. This means we can further invest, we can further engage with you. And that, as sir has already said, this is a beginning, not the end. It all depends on your interest. We are always there to encourage you. We will always there to help you and give you the valuable feedback. That's why we said in coming GFF, you are all welcome and express yourself. Use our domain expertise. We have a good technical practices. Our AI ML practices are good. Our risk practices are good. You can use those things and improve upon the solutions you have just given. It is a beginning. It is just first step to the right direction. So at last, the entire team of Hyderabad, they have really done good. I know it is really difficult for them to, Manojji, you and Mukeshji, excellent job. We got the very good support. So everyone was very concentrating on the problems and for what we have assembled here. And I will be failing to mention when IIT Hyderabad's contribution, the logistics, the rooms, and the timings, lunch and all. In fact, I reached 1 o'clock in the night and I was offered the dinner. that I was touched. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and good evening.
Thank you, sir. Before we stand up for national anthem, I just want to say that high tea is arranged by IIT Hyderabad just across this auditorium. The winners and runners-up have to wait here for some formalities which needs to be done on their certificates. So you may kindly stay back. The winners and runners team only. Yeah, I request the console team to please play the national anthem. Please kindly stand up.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
बोलो भारत माता जय।